We have the cameras on the Jazz team bus pulling into the arena. And the game arrivals sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. There it is, the Staples Center in Los Angeles, where we're getting set to bring you all of today's action. It's that time of the year. Happy holidays, everyone, from 2K Sports as we get set to bring you some mid-season NBA action. Tonight, we'll see the Utah Jazz as they play against the Los Angeles Clippers here at the Staples Center. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Brent Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. Hey, Dave.
Head coach Quinn Snyder is trying to help the Jazz break through in a crowded Western Conference. Snyder said, "There's always challenges, and I'm comfortable with adversity. I just want to keep the right perspective. I've got something that I love to do." And Kevin, he is one of the biggest reasons the Jazz is always a factor.
He is doing a great job. Thank you, D.A. And let's check out a breakdown, looking at some stats for Ingles.
And guys, I think the best way to measure his performance these last 10 games is his effective field goal percentage, which has improved, a sign that his game is in much better shape than it was not too long ago.
The starters for the Utah Jazz, they've got O'Neal, Bogdanovich out there with Gobert, then it's Donovan Mitchell, and it's Ingles in at the small forward position. And for the Clippers, we've got Mo Harkless, Patrick Beverley out there with Paul George, then it's Ivica Zubac, and it's Leonard in at the 3 slot. Halfway through the season here, Brent, how do coaching staffs shake things up and keep things fresh over the long 82-game season?
I think coaches who are really smart, Kevin, can be a bit programmable where they're looking ahead at the schedule and saying there are blocks of games here in which we might try to change some of our defensive schemes, maybe over this 10-game stretch or 5-game stretch. Or
to keep things fresh or to...
Yeah, because you can only do it on the mental side. As much as we talk about guys getting rested and sitting out games for maintenance issues and load management and those kind of things, the tweaks that you can make on the floor in terms of a couple of new sets on offense or defensively, let's make this challenge for the next few months, will grow the foundation of what coaching staffs are capable of doing with that team as they go on.
Now Zubac following the three-point attempt by Donovan Mitchell. And it's Kawhi Leonard with the 3.
And Kawhi Leonard has worked so hard on his shooting to become more consistent, specifically the three-point shot.
Pass to Gobert. And the rejection by Zubac. The 3 from George. And another 3 for the Clippers.
Paul George showing his offensive confidence right there, just letting that one go as soon as it touches his hands.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Here's Mitchell. And another shot. And the rejection by Zubac. Little over a minute 30 into this first quarter. And Beverley kicks to George. 11 feet away. The shot that time, not on target. The Jazz go the other way with it, fresh from a win against Portland.
Yeah, I felt like they attacked, but with a purpose. They knew what they wanted to accomplish coming in.
And talking with the coaching staff, they said in that game, they did a great job of not settling. Keep working the ball around, finding the best look. Let's see if they can keep that up.
Clippers have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. The pass to Beverley. Now Zubac. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Lakers. A 3 from Leonard. Los Angeles with another miss. For Utah, they've got a paltry 0 of 6 from the field here in what's been a very difficult start for them. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Bounce pass from Beverley. The shot. Bogdanovich grabs the miss.
Is it getting cold in here, Kevin? This is a tough one. Crucial that he starts to work a little harder for a higher percentage shot.
And here is Ingles. Really played well against Portland in his last outing. 6 on the shot clock. Gobert against Zubac. And the shot goes in from Rudy Gobert. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. Their last game a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
Yeah, it was all hands on deck. Helps to get points off the bench when you're on the road.
Yeah, saw the box score of that game the next day, and I thought, wow, that's a huge scoring night. Pretty impressive stuff there.
Checking out the stats for Beverly. How's the last month of basketball been for him? He's getting around 8 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he's done his share of the work for the team, definitely making an impact.
Well, the numbers, if you look at them, impressive all the way around, and he's not letting the team down.
Now here's Leonard. He had 35 points last game out.
Yeah, this is a solid opening quarter right here. Very active and creating a lot of good opportunities for himself.
Well, Brent, you look at the explosive numbers George has put up. A lot of it has to do with how he runs the pick and roll.
Incredible at his size and his ability to read the defenses in pick and roll situation. Anytime there's a defender that decides to go under on Paul George from the perimeter, he can let that thing rip from the three-point line. Last year, I think you saw him with the most poise that he's ever played with in his career. I expect that to continue.
And the Jazz with possession here. The Clippers getting the bucket. Pass to Gobert. Back to Mitchell. It's not going to go for him. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Their last meeting was in this building where they were able to come out on top.
And the last time they faced this club, rebounding was their big advantage. That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And with this summer's acquisition of Mike Conley, Greg, the Utah Jazz hoping to make a step in the West.
And really, Mike Conley, their best point guard since they traded away Darren Williams back in 2011. Alongside Bogdanovich, a big upgrade offensively, and he can hold his own on the defensive side as well.
That's good from O'Neal. A superstar summer, Greg, for the Los Angeles Clippers in Kawhi Leonard and in Paul George. Greg, they have 2 elite wings, great defenders in their prime.
Give them credit, but also Kawhi Leonard pushing the levers behind the scenes. He wanted another superstar to join him in recruiting Paul George, who still had 2 years left on his deal in OKC. Kawhi took unprecedented control of his free agent destiny.
Now here's Beverly. He's been quiet so far, still no points in the game. Harkless on the wing. He's covered by Bogdanovich. Passes to Leonard. George, no good. Jazz trail by 4. O'Neal with it. His last outing, he had 8 points. Pass to Gobert. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That one on George.
And you look back at that 2013 draft, just call it the year of the sleeper Euros. Giannis Antetokounmpo taken 15th, and this guy, Rudy Gobert, selected with the 27th pick.
And he's got his first free throw of the game. free throw drops for Gobert. And, you know, Greg, hindsight always being 20/20. The Greek Freak and Gobert probably go first and second in that 2013 draft.
Yeah, and Steven Adams probably top four. The common thread, all of them play a hard-nosed style, not something that's always associated with foreign-born players, but they're erasing that perception.
And Gobert drops them both. Well, they call Rudy Gobert the Stifle Tower, probably the game's most dominant rim protector.
And in today's game, that's not enough. You also have to come out of the paint and defend smaller players in switches. He straddles those two needs better than anyone in the league.
Here's Mitchell, following the score by Lou Williams. Mitchell passes to Gobert. Kicks it to O'Neal. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
That's the kind of passing you want there. Work the ball around, keep it moving, try to get an assist on every bucket.
Williams scanning the floor. Over O'Neal. And he overshot that one, missing. Utah trailing here. Mitchell outside. Dishes it to Bogdanovich. Pulls up on the wing. It's hauled in by Beverly. And so Beverly will bring it up for the Clippers. Left side, Leonard. The kick out to Williams. Again, Williams missing. Utah's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Here's O'Neal. And the rejection by Zubac. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Zubac. Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for the Clippers. Clarkson, he's checked in for Utah. Here's Mitchell. Can't tie it up as that one misses.
Give him a little credit. Take some guts to keep shooting if you're struggling this bad. It's getting a little bit ugly right now. Well, if he's going to keep shooting, they've got to run some plays for him. Screens, pick and rolls, anything they can do to get him started.
Now, here is O'Neal. 6 points for him. Mitchell looking it over. Shot clock at 5. And it's blocked. The pass to Beverly. Lots of room. Rebound, Utah.
That's a shocker there. Did not expect him to miss from that range. He's got to be shooting close to 60% from there.
Ball's knocked loose. Leonard with the ball. Now defended by Gobert. And finished off by Leonard.
And the claw at work. Just one reason why he's always a threat to lead the league in steals. Jump starts the fast break there.
And a first time out of the game called for Utah.
Interesting to see the rebirth of the Clippers, or actually maybe the actual birth of the Clippers, having Kawhi Leonard join this team along with Paul George, convincing him to come to town and to start maybe something special. And it's pretty immediate, the impact that these two are going to make on the floor, especially on the defensive end.
Green, he's checked in for the Clippers. Andrew Shamet comes in for Patrick Beverly. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Bradley's checked in for Gobert. Davis comes in for Bogdanovich. George Niang, he's checked in for Royce O'Neal. And it's Moutier in for Mitchell. And Kawhi, with all the strings he pulled to get here, Brent, he's already a Clippers legend.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to say that, but a three-time All-NBA performer. Remember, in 2011-12 was on the All-Rookie team, a two-time Finals MVP. Kawhi Leonard's resume is just absolutely astounding for a player who's still growing, and for the fact that him, at 28 years old, joining the Clippers along with Paul George. A lot of high expectations for the franchise now. Such a critical part of how their offense is going to flow. Things are only working when he seems to be on the floor.
From about 16, and the Clippers getting another bucket right there.
Leonard did a good job to take a picture there, recognizing what was going on, read the defense, and then finds a soft spot in the mid-range.
Now here is Davis. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Back to Clarkson. The three. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Here's Shamet. That one doesn't drop. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That is his first foul of the game. And the Clippers making a change here. Magruder's checked in. Jazz trail by 4. Now, here's Clarkson. 9-point game his last outing. Clock at 6. Bradley trying to break free. And that one's good by Davis.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
And so it's Williams who brings it up for the Clippers. Lays it up off the glass. And the Clippers lead by 4.
Well, even when you get physical with Lou Williams, he'll use that against you. Keeps his balance that time.
Niang kicks to Clarkson. Tipped away. Fast break, here we go. Williams with a clean look. Buries the jumper to finish the break. And now a 6-point Los Angeles lead.
Now that basket must be widening out right now, Kevin. He's making almost every shot he's putting up this quarter.
Williams against Moutier. Green with the block. And he gets it back.
Well, size and reach and timing, that's all Montrezl Harrell there, throwing that one out.
.136 left in the first quarter of the game. Clock at 4.
Yeah, really like the defensive focus and intensity at the start.
Well, that's a refreshing workman's approach to the game. Davis there beats everyone on the rebound and then finishes strong.
Now Shamet. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Pass to Green. The dish to Williams. And the wide open shot from Green. The shot, no good. Now the Jazz take it the other way. Up top, Moutier. He's guarded by Williams. Clarkson passes to Davis. Back to Clarkson. Utah needs to get off a shot here. And it's Davis missing.
Didn't hesitate for a second to get a hand up on that deep ball.
Yeah, you got to like how he hustled to guard out on the perimeter, definitely respecting the shooting ability.
Back to Harrell. And Harrell slams it in.
Harrell doesn't really force many things. It's a lot of baskets on the roll where he's around in close to make an impact offensively.
Now, here's Clarkson. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. From deep. Second chance shot. And so the first quarter is in the books. The Clippers on top. They lead by 6. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. Paul George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. You know, I saw her fight back. That was enough for me. In my darkest days, I knew it was nothing to what my mom went through, and she came out perfectly fine, so.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Just a great job, really, of making the game ugly, trying to muck it up a little bit out there.
Green is out there with Harrell. Then there's Landry Shamet. Then it's Paul George. And it's Magruder in at the two-guard position. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Talent coming from everywhere these days, Brent, including the developmental league. The G League has done a wonderful job of watching players develop there and then vaulting them up to the big league.
And I think last year, Kevin, the numbers were that more than half the players in the NBA had spent some time in the G League. You want to talk about that league coming a long way?
What an impact.
Massive.
Yes.
And what you're seeing, too, over the past few years, Kevin, is people doing a great job of using the G League a lot better. Not just experimenting and lab ratting what that team is about, but really well thought out player development and stints for guys on their team rather than just practicing and traveling and sitting and watching games. You're watching guys go play a game in the afternoon and then coming up to the NBA level and participating in an NBA game that night. That's going to go a long way to make guys in the early part of their career take the necessary strides in a lot quicker than they normally would.
This two-way contract has been a wonderful addition.
Except if you talk to their agents, Kevin. Yes, it's been very good for the control of an organization to find that kind of talent.
Whoa, that'll wake you up.
He is such a great athlete. Here's Moutier outside for Davis. Back to Moutier. Shamet with the steal. Here's Niang. He's covered by Shamet. Moutier with the bounce pass. Here's Niang. And it's Shamet with the rebound. Los Angeles leading by 8. And the call will be against George Niang. That is his first foul of the game. The Jazz making a switch here. Ingles is checked in. Outside, Green. On the wing, George. 6 to shoot. Here's Harrell. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Moutier kicks to Ingles. Pass to Clarkson. Here's Moutier. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
And even with defense hanging around, that interior shot for Moutier is as good as they come.
Clippers leading by 6. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, we know about Lou Williams' story. The 3-time Sixth Man of the Year may be undersized, but he keeps finding angles to score. Williams said, "I can't shoot straight up. I've always played crooked. It's weird, but it's something I've developed, fading away from guys. I have bigger defenders on me, and it's just about creating space." Kevin, even well into his 30s, Lou Will still does it as well as anybody.
I would totally agree, David. He is always deadly. Thank you. Now, here's Ingles. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. To the left side wing. Clarkson against George. Moutier past to Ingles. Basket counts. Now just a 2-point Los Angeles lead.
and they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Pass to George. Over Ingles. Drilled from 11 feet out. And that's 13 points for George.
This looks like he's got more feel tonight, like he's really got a good grip on that ball as he's letting it go.
And there's the pass to Davis. The basket good off the assist from Moutier.
Great use of the pick and roll there with Moutier effortlessly finding his teammate for a look at the rim.
Mann defended by Moutier. Mann passes to Green. Harrell with it. It's George on the wing. Pass to Harrell. For three. That one dropped for his second bucket. Mark in 2 for 4.
Not setting limitations on Montrezl Harrell's game. He knocks down the three.
And the Jazz call time here. And to have someone, Brent, with the size and strength of Green play with the energy he does, it's a huge boost to any team.
Yeah, lots of talk last year about JaMychal Green really stepping into his own, starting to really own what it is he can do to impact any given game. He's a bit of a journeyman, has traveled around a little bit between San Antonio and Memphis, but his role with the Clippers last year really put him in a nice spot for him to show off his skill set.
A different look for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Green, and it's Patrick Beverley in for Rodney McGruder. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Davis. Bogdanovich comes in for George Niang. O'Neal's checked in for Jordan Clarkson. And Donovan Mitchell subbed in for Moutier. Now, here's Mitchell. 35 points for him last game against Portland.
Well, the thing he did most was fluster the defense. I really liked how he showed no fear and constantly attacked the lane and drew contact, which in turn got him the free throws.
Here's Gobert, and the rejection by Harrell. Oh, Leonard in position. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Yeah, you don't see many of these opportunities for this team, but Kawhi, one guy who can get up there and get it done.
O'Neal dishes to Mitchell. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
And he gets a lot of points right there at the rim, but the defense determined not to give up the easy deuce there.
Here's George, and it's Paul George with the finish.
And Paul George demonstrating how elite he can be. It's a little tricky that time. I love it.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Now, here's Mitchell. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Stolen by Beverly. And it's Leonard at the elbow. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
And that's the high motor, the long strides we're always talking about with Leonard. Killing it in transition.
Mitchell passes to Bogdanovich. Mitchell against Beverly. Passes it to O'Neal. Got a piece of it. And here we go. Fast break. Beverly's got it. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And Beverly just motivated every night to get out here, to play, to compete. He hustles and wants to make it really tough on anybody that's on the opposing side of things.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on that one. And Brent, as you know, there aren't many players that can set a tone for a team, but Patrick Beverly is one of them.
And Patrick Beverly always embraces that role about setting the tone defensively on an opposing team's point guard, making sure that tonight, if you're going to beat the team that Pat Beverly plays on, you're going to have to go through them.
And he sinks the second. At the number of trades now starting to involve stars, it feels like the league's power balance is always shifting to some degree.
Yeah, and I think organizations that are trying to stay ahead of the trend, Kevin, might think about, we might have a star for just 2 years. How can we get the next one? Backside of that, Kevin, is a lot of these star players are signing deals that are not extending to 4, 5, 6 years. You can't even do that anymore. So you get a guy for a couple years. What he wants to do is maximize his earning potential for 1 or 2 seasons, become a free agent again, and then look around the league where opportunities not only to win, but to also cash in. That's what's happening in today's game.
And doesn't like how things are going right now.
The timeout before the timeout here, maybe just to cut off the momentum and have a chit-chat with the team to settle down.
And a moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Harrell.
And one thing that has been very consistent for him the last few years, his ability to continue to deliver more and more offense. He's been doing everything that's been asked of him.
O'Neal against Williams. Poked loose, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will retain possession.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Leonard. He's been on a remarkable tear this past month. 5th for free throw shooting, 6th in three-point field goal percentage, and ranked among the top 10 in scoring. He can fill it up with the best of them.
And he's been deadly from the free throw line. Only a handful of players are shooting a better percentage. Phenomenal asset to have on your team. Now, here's Ingles. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Beverly looking around. He dishes it to Williams. Leonard finds Beverly. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. That one goes. Count it. Williams has got the lead up to 14 outs for Los Angeles. And it's Mitchell with the ball for the Jazz. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. 5 on the clock. They could use a bucket. No good there. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. O'Neal against Williams. Pass to Leonard. Ingles with the rebound.
How about the timing he shows there to challenge that shot?
Yeah, not easy to do there, and that's a guy that you can tell takes every possession defensively very seriously.
Now, here's Ingles. And Gobert kicks to Ingles. O'Neal against Williams. Shot on the wing. O'Neal misses.
And they just can't find a way to end this thing. Nothing falling right now.
Frustration seems to be mounting here, and you can see not just in their faces, but right now in their quick and hurried shot selection.
Here is Williams. 14 points, their largest lead in the game. Mitchell against Beverly, and they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Now let's bring up the 2K leaderboard. Here are the top rebounders over the last month. Rudy Gobert, number 1.
He must be spending a lot of time in the weight room because he's shown such strength under the basket.
Jazz trail by 14. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Bradley's checked in for Joe Ingles. And here is Zubac. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Beverly with the ball. Leonard on the wing. Shot clock at 6. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's going to go on Bojan Bogdanovich.
And the defender was slow reacting, didn't fully account for Kawhi's quickness, slow played him, and gets to the free throw line.
Shooting 2.
The free throw drops for Leonard. And even though he's been nagged by injury for a few years, Brent, Kawhi is still a top two-way threat when he's healthy.
Well, the fact that Kawhi Leonard could move on from San Antonio, get to that Toronto team that needed just an extra push to do something in the Eastern Conference, especially with the absence of LeBron James. Kawhi Leonard absolutely dominated last year's playoffs and took Toronto to a championship. And now, for the first time, he's had the choice to continue his career somewhere. He's going to do that back home in Los Angeles for the Clippers.
Now, here's Mitchell. He's a guy that can score, no doubt, averaging over 25 points a game. Bogdanovich wide open. Drains it from beyond the arc.
Yeah, I love how adept Bogdanovich is in these sets. Fantastic at just getting space to shoot in that pick and roll.
Mitchell against Beverly. 1:52 left in the second quarter. And the pass to Williams. Over Mitchell. Williams can't get it to go.
And that's how you want to see defense played. Got right up in his face to bother the shot.
That's going to make any scorer uncomfortable when you get that aggressive.
Clearly a foul. And you ask around, his coaches and teammates love Donovan Mitchell. The way he carries himself, really infectious, upbeat, but also a born competitor.
And he knocks down the first one. And going into the 2017 draft, Mitchell was a sleeper. Maybe even Greg to himself, he wasn't sure he was ready to make that leap.
And you know, Kevin, it was the NBA players he was working out with in the summertime who told him, man, you're ready right now. And a season that saw him second in Rookie of the Year votes validated that and built his confidence.
That one misses.
And thinking back to last postseason, the Clippers did not back down to the Warriors at all.
Well, LA was a much more physical team. I think they knew going in that the only way that they had a shot was to be disruptive, and they brought that on both ends of the floor, and that was going against a healthy Kevin Durant at the time. They took 2 games last year in that series, and the way in which they played, that spirit might have caught the attention of one Paul George and one Kawhi Leonard.
Good on the shot, and that shaved the lead to single digits. Mitchell's got 4 this quarter.
Pretty much not a player in the league is going to pass up a shot like that so much for the defense.
Beverly, the pass to Leonard. Tries from 16. He can't hit that time. Now the Jazz take it the other way.
2 for 1, probably the way to go.
Don't want to rush it, but you don't want to take too much time here.
Mitchell against Beverly. Shoots from 12. Shot is good, and the Los Angeles leads cut to just 7 points in the basket for Mitchell.
Now, that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, the coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one.
I mean, already hot coming into the game. Is it fair to say he's hotter?
The Clippers have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4.
Yeah, pretty good numbers on the season when you look at their free throw attempts, right around 78%.
Landry Shamet checked in for Patrick Beverly.
One shot.
We've seen it. We've seen Kawhi Leonard mature and improve right before our very eyes. But one area where he was already pretty good was coming in at the free throw line.
Here's Mitchell. 6 points for him. Fires it up. Kawhi Leonard has been on display for the LA Clippers. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Here with head coach Quinn Snyder. Coach, what adjustments are you going to do in the second half?
You just got to keep playing, keep taking the shots, and that's not the issue as much as us not executing on offense. When we don't score, sometimes our defense lags as well.
Everybody wants to see the ball go in the basket first, right? Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. The Clippers have the edge here at halftime. They lead by 10. Shaq, what was your takeaway on the Clippers?
I'm not surprised. Kawhi Leonard, usually getting it done on both ends, can give you 20, 30, 40 points a night and lock down the opponent's best scorer. True superstar, Ernie.
Kenny, what do you have to say about the Jazz?
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better, into a better rhythm in the second half, and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Definitely been challenging the defense here early on, not settling for anything outside.
Yeah, you want these kind of nights where you can start to see those openings before they happen.
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. Clippers leading by 10. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. Taking a look at the Jazz, they've got Donovan Mitchell. Gobert is out there with Bogdanovich. Then it's O'Neal, and it's Ingles in at the 3. Now, here's Zubac. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Just 5 to shoot. His first shot coming late. Bogdanovich grabs the miss. Bogdanovich has got 4 rebounds now tonight. He kicks to Mitchell. This is to O'Neal. Back to Mitchell. They get a hand on it. Gobert finds Mitchell. It's tipped.
Can't be lazy around Patrick Beverly. He's going to get you down low with hands. That time, he blocks a shot.
Pass to Zubac. Now George. Now Harkless. The Clippers need to get off a shot from deep three-point range, and it's Beverly missing.
And you have to admire his confidence on that, but there's no way that's going to fall.
Coaches will tell you that's a bad shot, but when your teammates tell you that, you probably got to think about it.
Now, here is O'Neal. He has 6. Mitchell outside. Stolen by Beverly. Stolen by Mitchell. High post, Gobert. Kicks it to Bogdanovich. Passes it to O'Neal. 6 to shoot. Leonard with the steal. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. No one near him. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. Harkless has got it going here in the start of the second half. The first points in the third quarter for Los Angeles. George against O'Neal. Now, here's Mitchell. He's tightly guarded. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's the 3. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Leonard's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
Beverly, the pass to Leonard. And no good. A D by Bogdanovich.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Pass to Gobert.
Who's watching here?
On the wing, Mitchell. Defended by Beverly. And the rejection by Leonard.
And that's the thing we know about Leonard. As a defender, on the ball, off the ball, he's rarely out of any play.
And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up. So Leonard will go to the free throw line. It's going to be on Donovan Mitchell. The Clippers have only 1 missed free throw. They've had 5 attempts and made 4 of them. Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Utah also making some changes. George Niang, he's checked in for Bogdanovich. Clarkson comes in for O'Neal. And Emmanuel Mudiay subbed in for Mitchell. The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard. If you were commissioner, Brent, of the NBA, would you add or alter any rules right now?
Wow. First of all, I think you get to fly on a really nice plane wherever you're going. And you get to go to any game you want to.
Yeah.
So sign me up
with
for that
courtside
job.
seats, by the way, too.
Add or alter any NBA rules. I think the game is in a pretty good place right now, Kevin. And there's not much that I think is out there for us to change.
It seems like All-Star Weekend and the length of the season seems to be 2 pretty prominent things that continually come up.
Yeah, and as far as the question, I guess my head was going to things that are on the floor.
I was thinking that too, but I couldn't think of anything that really...
On the floor, it's tough to figure out something that could be adjusted, and I know Adam Silver and David Stern before him, all of their concern mostly is about the optics of the game.
Yes.
And right now, it's in a pretty good spot.
It's very pleasing to watch, there's no doubt. Mudiay. Here's Gobert, and slam dunk by Gobert.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback. Now, here's Beverly. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Shoots from 14. The rebound by Niang. Jazz trail by 13. To the middle. Here's Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope. His only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points. Now, here's George. He's got 15. And then George with the jam.
Paul George dunk contest? Maybe a little older, but I love to see him get up.
Mudiay pass to Gobert. Clarkson on the wing. Not going to go that time. Excellent D there from George. He feeds it to Harrell, and Harrell slams it in.
Yeah, we love when great offensive players get in a scoring rhythm, but Paul George right now in a great passing rhythm tonight.
Mudiay against Beverly. The pass to Clarkson. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Harrell's got his 4th rebound in this one. And here's Beverly. He brings it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Here's Moutier. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Moutier finds Clarkson. Looking for Gobert. He gets it there. From down in the low post, it goes. Gobert's got 6 in the quarter.
Disappointing as a player to have such a great game and still be trailing. Not over yet, though.
And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
You know, what a game by Leonard, but you wouldn't know it by the way he's reacting out there. Just stone-faced, but getting the job done.
Utah calls timeout.
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
For the Jazz, Ed Davis is checked in for Joe Ingles, and it's Mitchell in for Moutier. Jazz trail by 17. You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
And the Utah Jazz, not exactly a magnet for big-name free agents, Greg, but for their young star, Donovan Mitchell, it has been a perfect fit.
You know, they needed a scorer. He's played big minutes from day one and really thrived in that role.
And the first one drops.
And you wonder if Paul George finally has a situation here where he could show why he's an elite player, why he's an all-star, but to pay off how hungry he is to prove it with a late postseason run.
And George drops them both. Jazz trail by 17. And here's Clarkson. He's got 8. To the inside. Here's Mitchell, and he lays it straight in. Mitchell's got 10.
Well, that's how you draw it up right there. A screen to shed the defense, a quick move to the bucket, and you get the lay-in.
Harrell with it. He has 7. Gobert with the block. Here's Mitchell. No good on that one. Great D that time from Leonard. And George with the stuff.
I always talk about the first 2 steps in transition, and Paul George out quick and decisively that time.
Clarkson dishes to Mitchell. He kicks it to Gobert. Tries to keep it alive. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Clippers. On Tuesday, they'll head out on the road to face the Kings in Sacramento. Then on Thursday, they'll be playing against Blake Griffin and the Detroit Pistons.
And for that game against the Knicks, it's the second game of a back-to-back, and you know they're going to be feeling the effects of it. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes a toll.
Now, here's Clarkson. Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go. The Jazz with another miss.
Well, that's not a shot he's ever going to pass up, and he shouldn't. Despite the miss, no defender anywhere near him. He's got to shoot that one.
And this is why coaches talk about playing with pace. The scoreboard tells it all.
Kind of get a team defensively on their heels, and if you can keep pushing and keep attacking, they'd never find some kind of defensive balance to help slow you down.
And it's sent back by George.
Not many guys have the two-way ability of a Paul George, just as dangerous defensively as he can be offensively.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
Well, that's how you drive your point home right there. Mitchell kicks to Niang. Mitchell outside. From the arc. Good on the triple. Mitchell's got 13.
You're trying more and more to utilize the three-pointer. It's a good idea. That's his second three of the game, one in each half.
Leonard against Davis. And Leonard gets it to go. Leonard's got 11 in the second half.
This quarter belongs to him, and that's how you do it when you're out in front. Don't play it safe. Keep that momentum going.
Clarkson up top. He's covered by Leonard. Clarkson kicks to Mitchell. Pass to Davis. 6 on the shot clock. It's rebounded by Leonard. Leonard's got 6 rebounds in the game. And Jordan Clarkson is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Bradley's checked in for the Jazz. Mitchell against Williams. Banked in off the glass. He's got 10.
And I like that they're not settling. Getting the ball on the interior, 8 of their last 10 coming that way.
Mitchell passes to Gobert. Back to Mitchell. Passes to Clarkson. Fires from deep. And Utah another 3.
Boy, they have been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Pass to Green. There's the dish to George. Now the pass to Williams. 5 to shoot. Teardrop shot. Gobert with the block. 55 seconds left in the third. Kicks it to Mitchell. Jazz passing it around. Now, here's Clarkson. He's covered by Shamet. Gobert the pass to Bradley. And the rejection by Harrell. Now, here's George. He's guarded close. Yep, that one goes in there. George has got 10 points in the quarter.
Paul George is aggressive. Look at his eyes right now, focused on scoring, and he sees the open path and gets right there.
Now, here's Mitchell. He's got 13. 15 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Gobert dishes to Clarkson. The tray kept alive.
Well, a missed box out and an easy tip in, but it's because of the activity as the ball is going up, Kevin, finding yourself in the right spot, just using some effort.
Kawhi Leonard has been on display for the LA Clippers. He has been a determined scorer today. 29 points altogether for him, and I think there's more where that came from. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that you want to put on a canvas. Just beautiful basketball.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. They've got Ivica Zubac, Lou Williams out there with Landry Shamet. Then there's Harrell, and it's Magruder in at the 3. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. Here's Mitchell, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
He misses the free throw. Good on the second free throw. Now here's Williams. He dishes it to Harrell. Now here's Shamet. He's covered by Bogdanovic. And it's Shamet missing.
He's got so many ways to score in the post. Just nifty, uses fakes. You have to have a body on him every time he's down there.
Bangs home the trifecta.
Well, he just nailed his second 3 of the half, guys. I'd be very aware of that if I were the defense right now.
And Williams, here we go. There's the triple. Rebounded by the Jazz.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
And stolen by Harrell. And Harrell slams it in.
You see the athleticism there of Harrell, and does a great job of just wreaking havoc on that possession.
And it's Mitchell with the ball for the Jazz, trailing by 17. Dishes to Clarkson. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And it seems like Jordan Clarkson may have found his niche, Greg, as instant offense coming off the bench.
A perfect fit for a scoring-minded combo guard. Clarkson able to create his own shot and comfortable pulling from all 3 levels.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First one falls for him.
Clarkson, it's interesting for him. He's not really a point guard and not really a shooting guard, so trying to find ways to stay in the game and stay aggressive and do whatever is asked of him to earn minutes.
Harkless is checked in for Los Angeles. Patrick Beverly comes in for Landry Shamet. And both free throws good for Clarkson.
Well, when he gets into a groove at the free throw line, it doesn't just last for tonight. This might be 2 weeks, 2 months, something like that.
Pass to Beverly. Zubac against Gobert. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert. And he makes the first.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
And Utah making a change here. Ingles is checked in. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. Jazz trail by 16. Now Mitchell. Passes it to Gobert. Mitchell outside. Pass to Bogdanovich. Fires for 3. It's hauled in by Beverly. Beverly's got 6 rebounds here tonight. He kicks it to Williams. Zubac against Gobert. Clock at 6. Back to Williams. Another shot, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Yeah, you got to stay down on that shot fake. Lou Williams so good at using that tool.
Free throw good, Lou Williams. Greg, I'm just so impressed with the level of finesse and craftiness that Lou Williams always plays with.
And Kevin, you don't stay a perennial 6th Man of the Year candidate at Williams' age without having more than a few tricks up your sleeve. He's so good in tight spaces and can find a way to get a shot up where others just have to kick it out.
And Williams drops them both.
Lou Williams and that wisdom gives a boost to the confidence of the entire team, someone the younger guys look up to.
O'Neal kicks to Mitchell. Shoots from 12. It's good. Mitchell's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
Mid-range, plenty of room for that release. He's going to take those all day long.
And Leonard gets it to go on the assist by Williams. Williams has got 3 assists in the game. Jazz trail by 18. High post, Gobert. Outside, Bogdanovich. Over Harkless. And the shot is long.
And his lateral quickness really allows him to stay in front of the shooter there and challenge the shot.
Talk about versatility on offense a lot, but how about on defense? And he takes pride in making an impact down there.
Mitchell passes to Gobert. There's the dish to Ingles. Mitchell against Beverly. And here is Ingles. It's hauled in by Zubac.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
And it's Mitchell with the ball for the Utah Jazz. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Outside Williams. Zubac with it. When it comes to choosing, Brent, the MVP, the Coach of the Year, the Rookie of the Year, all these different great awards, do you like the current voting structure for these big awards right now?
I don't mind the current voting structure. I don't know how you get away from what it is in terms of handing people ballots to figure out who it is that they think have earned those awards throughout the year, Kevin. What I don't like about the structure is that you have media members who are voting on things that have huge financial ramifications for organizations. And when that stuff happens with a player who's going to earn a supermax contract because he made an all-NBA team, what you're going to start doing is restricting smaller market teams from being able to afford the ability to keep their star player with the team. And so that needs to be fixed and fixed immediately.
I do not like the media. Wait a minute.
Wait.
I am the media.
You are the media, Kevin.
Strike that. Let's rewind.
Can we delete that?
And you can just see he's a different player since coming back from halftime.
Bounce pass from Williams. The fader. Again, Los Angeles.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Basketball IQ is something that gets talked about, but its importance to a team showing up here, running plays that turn into scores.
So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Stolen by Robinson. Now the Clippers moving it up. Here's Mann. And that one hits back iron. Utah has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. They get it back, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one. Brent, we have seen some international showcase games the last few years. Do you like that trend?
Oh, absolutely. I like the fact that our league, we know how global it is with how many players from different countries are represented throughout the rosters around the league. But for our game to travel around to London and to Mexico City and have an opportunity for those fans to see what NBA basketball is like, I think it's an absolute win.
I'd like to see more.
Well, more time for those teams. The timing of some of those trips for some teams are a little bit tough in terms of the travel, but their appearances there mean so much more to grow the game globally.
Outside Bradley. The pass to Williams-Goss. To the paint. And Bradley gets it to go.
Of all the action happening there, Kevin, it's the assist that jumps out to me there. That's just a great look and a great setup for the bucket.
Passes to Mann. Here's Zubats. Down low. The layup off target. Inside. Tries again. The shot, no good. And it's Utah the other way. Oni. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
Now catching the lead pass at full speed, terrific anticipation, and the delivery, Kevin, on time, on target.
Pass to Patterson. Brent, a lot of teams will be paying that luxury tax, and that is a tough thing for a lot of owners to swallow. Is this the best method to deter teams from going over the cap, overspending, and outspending smaller markets?
You're hitting the nail on the head, Kevin, because there are some teams, as much as you said it's tough for some teams to swallow, there are other teams that never see that pill.
Right.
And they're willing to go as far as they need to go in order to put a championship team on the floor. It seems to be working, but the question you had for me, was it a deterrent right now? I don't know if it's as significant as it needs to be. We know the repeater tax certainly hurts some teams, but there are still teams that are willing to spend, Kevin. And that's really tough on small market teams who want to avoid that at all costs.
So Utah ends up going with a new group. 4 on the clock. Here's Clarkson. The Jazz again can't hit it.
Well, maybe not the best shot against that kind of defense, but he still has the ability to knock that kind of shot down.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
Yeah, feels like Christmas right now, just gift wrapping points.
Here's Beverly. Here's Leonard. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
And this is who he has become. Leonard, with the great body control, takes the hit and still able to sink the shot and one.
So Utah ends up going with a new group. The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard. Last year, the average salary for a starting point guard, Brent, in the NBA, was the highest among all positions. Why would that be?
Well, with the way the game has changed, Kevin, there's certainly an emphasis on being able to find guys who are initiating offense, scoring the basketball, shooting three-pointers, and you're seeing a big shift in salaries between point guards and bigs. That's where the biggest disparity is. Centers in the league are getting less and less of an opportunity to have the extended big money contracts because the game has moved to the perimeter, and if you're a big that cannot play on the perimeter, there's not a lot of teams that are willing to invest a significant amount of their cap space into the center position. They want guards and wings who can play out there and do the damage from there.
LA's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Outside, Robinson. Bradley against Zubac. Pass to Mann, just 5 on the clock. From past the arc. Rebounded by the Jazz. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. The Clippers shooting about 47% here in the fourth. Something Commissioner Silver has mentioned, Brent, the possibility of a mid-season tournament. You ever see that happening?
It'd be interesting to see if that idea grows some legs here, Kevin, and adopting what it is that in soccer leagues in Europe have done for many years, because teams hone in on what those individual cups mean and the competition raises, and you earn something for the end of the year. If Commissioner Silver can find a way to get that done, it becomes very intriguing instead of an all-star weekend to have teams gather for a mid-season tournament with something on the line. Elevated competition.
Well, kids play that at high school. They play that in the college level. It would make sense that it could fit in the NBA as well.
It'd be interesting, and especially halfway through the year, to reinvigorate your fan base with something like that, I think would be great.
Good point. They have been really controlling this one.
You never want to be complacent on the floor. That's when you lose momentum.
Left block shot on the way, and there it is for him.
And look at how quick he was to bite on the pump fake. Left his feet way too soon.
It's Bradley on the wing. Shoots over Zubac, and Bradley gets it to go. They've shared the load offensively.
And guys, they've put the defense on their heels. You can see right now they're trying to react, and that's what you want when you're in a rhythm offensively.
Here's Leonard, got a piece of it. Now here's Tucker, guarded closely. Feeds to Bradley. Buries it down low.
That's pretty unselfish there. He sees that there's a better shot on the perimeter and bang, just kicks it out.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Clippers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so this is going to end up as victory number 24 on the year.
And they will walk out of here feeling really good about themselves today, guys. A big win over a conference foe they'd split their previous 2 games with.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Leonard.
It looked like a couple times they might be wearing him down, but not the case. At the offensive end, he was just devastating.
And the rejection by Zubac. 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter. To the inside. And it's Leonard. That time on the assist by Patterson. Leonard's got 43 points.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive victory for the club tonight.
Tucker with the ball. Leonard's there, and Bradley gets it to go.
Well, those interior passes can be dangerous sometimes, but if the timing is good and you execute it there, you can get easy hoops.
So the Clippers winning this one easily. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where's your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together, and we can just stick to that. Keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you later.